Hello all, I welcome you all to this session of Basic Thermodynamics. In today's class, we will talk about the module 4, that is availability, irreversibility and general thermodynamic relations. On the other hand, in the module 4 you have also pure substances. Now, whenever we have talked about the laws of thermodynamics, we said that the second law of thermodynamics is very unique, right. So, whereas the first law of thermodynamics we also have discussed the disadvantages which are associated with the first law of thermodynamics, then we came across with the second law of thermodynamics. Now, till now we have talked about the efficiency or the work derived by the heat engine, right. So, what is availability we will see, what is irreversibility, and we will also talk about general thermodynamic relations. So, in order to explain the concept of availability, let us consider a simple heat engine which is operating between the temperature limits, say the higher temperature reservoir temperature is 1100 Kelvin and lower temperature is 298 Kelvin, and it is of course delivering work and it is receiving the heat at the rate of 3000 kilowatt. Now, till now we have said that the Carnot efficiency is what we can get the maximum efficiency of a heat engine between temperature limit will be Carnot efficiency which we have derived, which is given by 1 minus TL by TH, where TL refers to the lower temperature of the heat reservoir, that is lower temperature reservoir or where you are rejecting the heat, and the higher temperature, the TH is the temperature of higher temperature reservoir. So, this is the maximum efficiency or Carnot efficiency which we talked about between two temperature limits. So, this is turning out to be for this given temperature, it is 72.9%. So, what about the remaining 27.1%, that you cannot extract it at all. So, that will be going as a waste. On the other hand, if you calculate by using the energy balance equation, this we know from the first law of thermodynamics, just efficiency will be output by input. So, you can calculate work, because you know that efficiency, maximum efficiency can be 72.9% and you know that QH is 3000 kilowatt, you can calculate work. Now, you can calculate heat rejection. So, what is heat rejection? Heat supplied minus work transfer, that is once again the basic energy balance which will give you, this must be the heat rejection. So, what we are getting out of these equations are, this is the minimum amount of heat which has to be rejected in order to get the work output of 2187 kilowatt. Or on the other hand, you can also say it like this. So, you cannot have a heat rejection lesser than this amount. That means this is the unavailable energy. That means you cannot convert this much amount of energy into work. So, this is the minimum amount of energy which you have to reject to the sink in order to run this heat engine or produce a work output of 2187 kilowatt. On the other hand, you can also say it like, so this is the available energy. What is available energy? The maximum work which we can get is the available energy. So, now this is available energy. So, this will give you the minimum heat which has to be rejected is nothing but unavailable energy. So, available energy is W max, you can say, or unavailable energy will be, so in other words you can also say it like this, Q1 will be, that is the amount of heat you are supplying, can be equal to available energy plus unavailable energy, okay. So, this will be work max and the unavailable energy will be the heat which you are rejecting or the minimum heat which has to be rejected to the surrounding. Now, we will like the heat has to be rejected to the surrounding, which we already know from the principle of second law of thermodynamics, right. So, if at all you want to understand the principle of availability properly, Let us say you have a geothermal reservoir. What do you mean by geothermal reservoir? It is the heat energy which is there beneath the earth's surface. So in order to extract that energy, what we do is that we generally drill a hole nearly a kilometer. So for each kilometer there will be rise of certain temperature. Now the geothermal energy is abundant, it is available in nature at the free of cost, and it is available in a very big scale. So how much of that you can extract is the question. So the available energy principle, or we also call it as exergy, gives you the idea whether to install a geothermal power plant there or not. So if you think of a geothermal reservoir, the energy is abundant, right? So how much of that energy can be converted into work, and how much of energy will be discarded if you consider the total amount of energy. So since the temperature at which the geothermal energy is available is low, generally it depends on how much of energy that you can extract. Let us say you have 100 kilojoules of energy which is there. How much of that can be really extracted, because it is available at the relatively very low temperature. So it is available in abundant, but it is available at the low temperature. So in order to have an idea whether to install a geothermal power plant there or not, because it requires a capital cost, right? So whether to install it or not depends upon how much of that 100 kilojoules of energy can be really converted into the useful work. So that is where the concept of availability comes into picture. Now the availability means the maximum work which can be extracted if the from the available energy source. That is what we call it as availability, or the available energy, or we also call it as exergy. This is nothing but availability or exergy. Now this word, since it rhymes with the energy or entropy, this term is used in representing the availability. So exergy means availability, whereas irreversibility means the process which reduces the availability of the work, or in other words you can say that the irreversibility, we already know that the definition of reversible work, right? Reversible work is the work, or you can say that the maximum work which you can extract between the given initial state and final state, that we call it as reversible work. Reversible work is the maximum work which we can extract from the two given initial state and final state, that we called it as a reversible work. Okay. On the other hand, we will have to define a dead state. So what is a dead state? Dead state means, so if you are talking about the reversible work, the given states will be an initial state and a final state. The final state has to be equivalent to or in thermodynamic equilibrium with the atmosphere, then we call it as a dead state. Generally what happens is that the actual work what we produce will be lesser than the reversible work itself. Now consider if there is a process in which you are doing a work from 1 to 2, whereas this represent the atmospheric pressure. So this is 1 and 2, this is representing a reversible work. Let us say this is representing a reversible work between state 1 and 2. But if you are stopping at here, the point where it is above the atmospheric pressure, you still have the potential to produce some more work, right? On the other hand, you can also say that if the temperature of the working fluid is even higher than the atmosphere, you can run a heat engine out of it. Or you can say that even the kinetic energy of the working fluid is greater than a number 0, you can also run a turbine out of that kinetic energy, then also you can produce work. That means you still have this much amount of work which can be produced. So always whenever you are talking about the exergy or the availability analysis, we talk about the dead state. That means the final state of the process should be a dead state, or in other words you can say that it has to be in thermodynamic equilibrium with the atmosphere. It has to be, you know that the definition of thermodynamic equilibrium, that it has to satisfy the mechanical equilibrium where there has to be no difference in pressure, right, or there has to be no difference between the system and the surroundings, like the force, then you call it as a mechanical equilibrium. Then the thermal equilibrium, the temperature of the surrounding and the system has to be same, and the chemical equilibrium as well. Now when do you get a reversible work equivalent to the exergy or the availability? When the final state of the reversible work is a dead state, then you call it as availability or exergy. Know that for a given heat input, the availability will be the maximum amount of energy which you can extract from a given heat source. So what is the maximum heat you can extract? It will be assumed that this also has to reach to the atmospheric, or this has to reach to the thermodynamic equilibrium with the surrounding, then that is where you can extract the maximum amount of useful work, or we also call it as work potential. What is the work potential of a given heat input? That we call it as availability. Now irreversibility can be said as exergy destruction. So this is also called as exergy destruction. That is, because of the irreversibilities involved in the process carrying out, while transferring the energy or while converting the heat into work, there will be irreversibility, because of which the maximum amount of energy which you are able to produce, you will not be able to produce that. Okay, because of what? Because of the irreversibility. That's why we call it as exergy destruction. That is, you are destroying the energy which otherwise could have been converted into work. So few examples of irreversibility we will see in the next classes, like finite temperature differences, or it may be friction. So while doing the process, if there are irreversibilities, you are going to destroy the exergy, that is the amount of work which you could have produced if these irreversibilities were not present. So keep that in mind. Availability or exergy means the maximum work which can be produced when you have been given a amount of heat. And know that the final state, whenever you are talking about the exergy analysis, the final state will be a dead state. What is a dead state? A dead state is the one in which the system is in thermodynamic equilibrium with the surroundings. That is what we call it as dead state. So the reversible work can be called as a availability or exergy when the final state of the reversible work will be a dead state. If you extend this to till the atmospheric pressure, this itself will become, if you calculate the amount of energy or amount of work which this can produce, that itself will be what? The reversibility, or that itself will be called as availability or exergy. Now let us talk about the high grade energy and low grade energy, because whenever we talk about exergy analysis, we generally talk with respect to the heat. We know that from the second law principle itself, other energies can be converted into the heat very easily, whereas when you talk about converting heat into work, you cannot have 100% efficient engine. because of the same reason of unavailable energy. There has to be minimum heat which you have to reject in order to get the work output in a cycle. So this is why it is called as a low grade energy. So which are all the low grade energy? Heat or thermal energy, heat derived from nuclear reaction, it can be a fission or fusion, heat derived from combustion of fossil fuels, all are heat only. Okay, these are called as low grade energy because it cannot be converted completely into other forms of energy. On the other hand, these are called as high grade energy, mechanical work or electrical energy. These are of course derived from the heat only. We know that we have to run a heat engine in order to get the mechanical work or electrical energy, and then you have water power. So these can be converted into heat with a 100% efficiency, at least theoretically. Then you have wind power, so then you have kinetic energy of the jet, and then you have tidal power. So whenever we are talking about exergy, know that we are talking about only low grade energy or the forms of energy which is a heat. So remember, we are running a heat engine, there only the principle of available energy or unavailable energy, irreversibility comes into picture. So what we have defined now? We have defined available energy, that is exergy, which is the maximum work which can be extracted when for a given heat input. Or in other words, you can also say that the available energy is the, or exergy is the work potential of a given input. If there is some amount of heat, what is the work potential, what is the amount of energy which you can extract. Then we talked about the unavailable energy, which is nothing but the minimum amount of heat which has to be rejected to the surroundings. And we also talked about the dead state. Remember, dead state is nothing but a state where the system is in thermodynamic equilibrium with the surroundings. Now we will define formally the availability or exergy. So it is the maximum useful work that could be obtained from the system at a given state in a specified environment. So remember, we are trying to quote here the given state and the specified environment, because we are talking that the maximum work which we can produce, that means we can produce the maximum environment for a given state if the final state reaches the state of the environment, or the final state is in thermodynamic equilibrium with the surroundings. So then only we can calculate the maximum work potential, or we call it as the maximum useful work which you can get. On the other hand, you have the unavailable energy. The unavailable energy is that portion of energy which cannot be converted to work, which we call it as unavailable energy. Now given the heat input or given the total energy of the system, what we can say is that the total energy of the system will be the summation of available energy and unavailable energy. That is, the total energy of the system will be, if you are supplying the heat, we can call it as available energy plus unavailable energy, right. The total energy will be available energy plus unavailable energy, or you can, in order to calculate the unavailable energy, you can write it as the amount of energy you are supplying, that is heat, minus available energy. That will give you the amount of unavailable energy. Now we will define irreversibility. It is like, if you have a reversible work, the difference in the actual work and reversible work, you know that reversible work is the one which gives you the maximum work output. So reversible work will become the availability when the final state is the dead state, or the final state is in equilibrium with the atmosphere. Now if you are talking about the irreversibility, this reversible work will be higher. So if the actual work is having a different answer or different value than that of the reversible work, it will be because of the reason irreversibilities. These irreversibilities can be because of the finite temperature difference, we will prove it later, why finite temperature difference leads to irreversibility we will see, or it can be due to friction. So, any difference between reversible work and useful work is due to irreversibilities, and this difference is called as irreversibility. You can define it like irreversibility, let us denote it by I, will be because of reversible work minus useful work. This will be always higher, and if there is any irreversibility, you will have this useful work which will be lesser than that of the reversible. So, this we call it as the difference between the reversible work and useful work, we call it as irreversibility. And remember, the dead states we generally denote it by letter, suffix not, like the temperature of the atmosphere which we are trying to denote, that means the dead state temperature we are trying to denote it by T naught, or the dead state pressure can be denoted by P suffix O, that represent, or P suffix 0, that represent the temperature of atmosphere and pressure of atmosphere. Now what we will do, we will try to derive the available energy which is referred to as a cycle. So we will derive available energy for a thermodynamic cycle. We will derive the equation or available energy referred to cycle. Let us say we are interested in available energy for a cycle or referred to a cycle. Now let us write a heat engine. If you want to generate work, or which you want to convert heat into work, you are interested in converting maximum heat to work. So you need a heat engine. Let us say this is higher temperature reservoir and this is lower temperature reservoir. Let us say the temperature of this is TH, or you can denote it by T1, and let us say the lower temperature is T2 and it is producing the work output. So what we have written, consider a heat engine, consider a heat engine. Of course it is a reversible heat engine. If you want to specify, consider a reversible heat engine which is working between higher temperature, we have denoted it as T1, and lower temperature reservoir as T2. Okay. Now we know that the Carnot cycle efficiency is given by 1 minus T2 by T1. So for the given temperature limits, we said that it is T2, that is lower temperature, by higher temperature. Now the efficiency is given by 1 minus T2 by T1. For the temperature T2, of course this is the Carnot efficiency, but for maximum efficiency, what did we say? The temperature or the lower temperature T2 which we are talking about has to reach a dead state, that is the temperature has to be equal to the temperature of the atmosphere. So we said that the dead state temperature we generally denote it by T naught. So for maximum efficiency, the temperature of heat rejection should be dead state, that is the temperature has to be equal to the temperature of the atmosphere, we denote it by T naught. So now you go for efficiency maximum. So whenever we are talking about exergy, we have to talk about this state, not the T2. T2 can be greater than T naught. In most of the cases you end up with T2 will be greater than that of the surroundings. Obviously we are calculating the available energy or exergy. We make use of the maximum what you can get the work output or the maximum work potential we are talking about. So the maximum work potential whenever you are calculating, you will have to definitely assume that the final state will reach to the surrounding state. So this will be 1 minus T naught by T1. So this is the temperature at which you are supplying the heat. So this is the equation. Now we also know what the Q1, that is the total energy which you are supplying, will be equal to available energy plus unavailable energy. Okay. At any point if you want the unavailable energy, you can use Q1 minus available energy. So remember, this you can use at any point of time. So this equation holds good. Now come back here. Now efficiency max can be like, from the first law of thermodynamics, what we know is that efficiency is what? Output by input, that is output, and Q1 is the input. So we are talking about maximum efficiency, then this will be W max. So work max. Now for efficiency max, you substitute this. Let us call this as equation 1. Substitute this in equation 1. What we get? W max by Q1 will be equal to 1 minus T naught by T1, or you solve for W max is equal to 1 minus T naught by T1 into Q1. Okay. Now this is what we are talking about. In order to get the maximum work for the given heat input. Now let us consider a thermodynamic cycle. Let us say you have a TS. So you need not to worry about the whole cycle. Let us just take the heat input at the process where the heat is being added to the system. That is what I am taking. Consider a small element of heat transfer. Consider a finite process in which delta Q amount of heat is added to the system. We have taken an elementary cycle in which we have just considered the process of heat addition. That itself is sufficient enough to solve this problem. You need not to represent, or you need not to worry about representing the whole cycle. So because in this equation what we have is delta Q. Let us say this is X and Y, better. So where the heat is added between the process X to Y, and we have taken a small amount or the finite element of this, that is delta Q. Now integrate this equation between the X and Y, you will get the maximum work. That is, integrate this equation. Let us say this is equation 2. Integrate equation 2 between limits X and Y. Delta W is equal to, you can simplify this like Q1 minus T naught by T1. This also a small element delta Q1. Now solve this for, or integrate it. What you will get? The maximum work will be, so the heat you are supplying is Qxy, that is the heat transfer between the process X and Y, minus T naught. T naught is constant because the temperature of the atmosphere, we represent it by T naught. So T naught is constant. Take the T naught out. Delta Q by T is nothing but the S, entropy. So entropy, if you substitute here, integrate it between X and Y, entropy, then what you will have is Qxy minus T naught into Sy minus Sx. So this is the maximum work which you can generate for a given Qxy, or you can also say it as available energy. Remember, we have calculated this available energy considering the final state as dead state. So this is nothing but the available energy or maximum work. Now we said that if you want the unavailable energy, what we can do? Subtract the available energy from that of a heat addition. So here you can calculate unavailable energy by, here you are what you are supplying is Qxy minus of the available energy. So therefore this cancels out. What you will have is that minus of minus, this will be T naught into Sy minus Sx. So what did we get here? The unavailable energy for a given heat input will be the product of the lowest temperature, that is the temperature of the surroundings, multiplied by the change in entropy during the heat addition process. Now we have derived the equation for the available energy for a cycle and also the unavailable energy for the cycle. Thank you.